Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing wear. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kingston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store.
And then there was another moment where I was playing basketball, and I know if is Kim Bourne still at South Sumner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kim and John. Yep.
Okay. Make sure she see, because she'll remember this right here. So this JV, this like 9th grade year, right? We were fresh off football. I think we playing Citrus. It's Citrus, yeah.
Yeah, Citrus.
So we playing Citrus, right? And it's like she's yelling for somebody to foul. And I'm in the block. I'm in the paint, and the basketball is coming across the court. And she's like, foul, somebody foul. And everybody's kind of looking around. So no lie, Billy. I take a beeline from the opposite block to the half court, and I freaking knock this kid like into the bleachers, bro. I'm talking about full shoulder. Like, I mean, just decleat him like I'm on the football field. Why? I don't know. I mean, I was 14, 15. Come on, dude. So like, I knocked this kid out. Obviously, I'm suspended for 2 games. Fast forward, probably about 2-3 years ago. I don't know. You remember EJ Hall, Elbert Hall?
Yeah.
He was Cortez. His brother was Cortez, and
yes. Yeah.
So I was talking to EJ on FaceTime, right? No lie, Billy. This is crazy. And he's hanging out with somebody, and he says my name. And he's talking to dude. He's like, "Is that what was this?" And he talking like, "Yeah." And then he get a dude the phone, and he was like, "Hey, you remember me? You played basketball, and you came, and you knocked the inside of me when we was playing basketball. You remember that?" And I was like, "Yeah, my bad."
Oh my God, dude.
And bro, we talked about that, and we laughed for like 10 minutes on the phone talking about it, dog. But it's crazy because you say that, and those 2 instances were like, people remember playing against me because I inflicted harm on them. And I'm to the point where I'm just like, my bad, bro. Like, I ain't, it wasn't intentional. Maybe the basketball thing, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But I ain't break Buddy's leg on purpose. I didn't mean to ruin Buddy's football career, man. Like, that was really actually.
He should have drank more milk.
Hey, listen, 1% better.
You see
1% better like milk.
You need some Boniva, some bones, some for your bone structure. Golly.
Oh man!
Listen.
Those were two crazy.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Y'all remember? I remember the basketball breaking the dude's leg. It wasn't until he told me that, and I remember. Like, I do remember hitting somebody in 8th grade, and they were screaming like, somebody had like shot him or something. And I said, it must have been him. So,
well, that's like the story. People think that I'm lying or making it up when I tell them the story about when Earl Everett hit a guy from South Lake so hard that it knocked his wisdom tooth out.
Ooh. I heard that. Yeah.
You heard that, right? So every time I tell that story, people are like, nah, man, there ain't no way. And I'm like, nah, it did happen.
When they say that, you need to pull up Earl highlight film.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody don't agree with you on that, you need to pull up his highlight film and then ask them about it afterwards.
Well, what's funny is Earl people would ask Earl all the time. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And somebody in his family, a cousin or somebody, was working at they were like a correctional guard or something, and the guy that he knocked the wisdom to that was in the facility or something like that, and he was like he found out that this individual was related to Earl. And he says, you're related to Earl Everett? And they're like, yeah. He goes, man, he knocked my wisdom tooth out. And they're like, oh my God, it really happened. He's like, yeah. Like, it really did happen. I was like, oh my God, dude, can you imagine? You wake up, you're like,
Earl need to put Dennis on his resume. Earl got to put Dennis on his resume, man.
Dr. Everett.
Yeah, Dr. E.
Dr. E.
Well, yeah. But that's something, man. No lie, though, man. Like, that's something about something, man, that's just like, I loved it, man. And that's like trying to get my kids to tackle it. And a lot of people tackling, right? Yeah, you got to coach it. And it's a lot of it, some of it is form and technique. But I think the heart of tackling anybody is want to. And will. You see, like you just have to want to be physically more dominant than that person in that time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Just being able to do it consistently.
Yep.
Right. That was something about size something. Like we won the biggest school. We didn't have, all the schools like, a big 3, 4, 5 or 5, 6, 8 school. Like we country boys down in Central Florida. But hey, whether we go to Jacksonville or whether we go down to Miami, like we're going to hit you. You're going to get hit. You can win by 50, but you're going to get hit. Somebody on that team is going to be like, man, I don't want to go back out there, coach. Like you can put somebody else out there,
right.
And that's just something like I want to instill in what we're doing here at Frankfurt. I mean, we got tough kids. I love this community, man. Like the kids here are tough. They're resilient. They're inner city kids. Some of them got a lot of challenges at home, but they show up and they play hard. And so once I can get them just to embody and ingrain that, when it comes time to tackling somebody, when it comes time to blocking somebody, like I get it. We spend a lot of time in the weight room, fundamentals and all of that stuff, but you gotta want to do it. You gotta have the will to do it. You gotta have the drive to do it. Like it have to be something like, I want this more than you want it, So, and we getting there. I know that for a fact, that we definitely headed in the right direction.
When you were growing up, was baseball like your favorite sport? Did you have another sport that you were like, you know what, I kind of fell in love with this before I made baseball pretty much a profession?
Well, everybody says when I was born, I'll come out to hit, so I love baseball, but I love football too. I played football in, high school and, but baseball was my thing. It came natural to me.
Right.
I could hit and do the things I had to do. And, I was just, when I was younger, I really didn't have to work at it. I was just good at it.
Yeah.
And I got older, I learned to work and do everything. I didn't play high school baseball. I played a couple, 3 years of football, and, I had opportunities to play, quarterback for some people, and things just didn't work out for me that way.
Right.
What happened in high school, I was a freshman in high school, and I had long hair down to my shoulder blades. And the coach was old school. He said, you need to cut your hair. And I said, well, I'm not cutting my hair to play on TV. It's just not happening. And so we kind of parted our ways, and I never played high school baseball. I continued to play in summer ball and doing the things I did.
Right.
It was just a passion for me. And, I went through some struggles when my parents got divorced and did some things. And, my mother moved away, and my father was ill. I mean, he was, disabled and a lot of things. So we finally had to move away. And when my dad moved to Georgia, I went ahead and moved to Dothan, Alabama with my mother. Mm-hmm. And I started playing baseball up there. And from being from Tallahassee, moving to Alabama back in those days, Alabama was nothing but a football place.
Right.
All football,
right.
Everything. So when I got there, I was so much more advanced than those guys, and I just took advantage of it, and got myself a scholarship at Wallace Dothan, where I coached for all those years, and it took off from there.
Gotcha. So you kind of did the whole, was it like Leonard Skinner when they told them to cut their hair, and they're like,
That's
oh man, I got to
It wasn't
rebel.
happening for me. I mean, they called me Goldilocks my whole career when I was a young boy and everything, because I had long hair. And I would have cut it, but I deserved to be on that team, that varsity team, even as a freshman. And it didn't happen. His name was Coach Kill, and to this day he passed away. And his son says he should have never done that. I said, well, it changed my life in a lot of different ways. Things happen in our lives, it just changes.
Yeah.
And it put me in another direction to go where I needed to go. And moving to Dothan and doing things, getting away from the people I was hanging out with in Tallahassee. Not saying they're bad people. It was just,
right.
I come from no money, and
right.
We did things we probably shouldn't have done back then, but it is what it is. And I had a full-time job since I was 13 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's, but it all worked out for me. The good Lord blessed me with things in my life to get me where I got.
Right. Well, do you think that hard work came naturally to you? Like that hard, how is to say your work ethic? Do you think it came natural, just like your ability, like where you just didn't have to really work hard at it?
I was just in a situation where I needed to work. If I wanted to, make money and do what I need to do to have in my pocket or whatever.
Right.
But it also taught me too, I came from a family that worked hard and did things,
Right.
And,
right.
It just taught me, when I got to college baseball in Dothan, the coach signed me, and, I was a 220-pound shortstop. Like, there's no way this kid could play short. Well, I could, I could, and I did things, and, there were certain things just in my life that just got me along where I needed to be. I mean, there's a lot of situations I was in as a young kid. I could have been killed or anything else.
Yeah.
But it's all learning stuff, A lot today, the kids don't learn from things when they don't teach themselves to do things.
Yep.
And it taught me, and when I got to college, I had a girlfriend. She was pregnant, and then that really taught me. My daughter's 42 years old now.
Mm.
I call her my godchild because she really taught me to become a man.
Right.
And working in college and doing things I had to do. And so everybody has a plan in their life. I had a plan, and God had a plan for me. That makes sense.
Yes.
He used a lot of different things in my life to get me to where I got.
Yeah. I always say, tell God your plans and he'll laugh or he'll chuckle, because it may not be exactly what he has set out for you. And you might think that this is exactly what I want to do. And it's not going to happen, or, it's not even going to, you can try. And but things don't come and fall into place like they would if it was exactly what you were meant to do.
We all have a whole life ahead of us, and you just got to use experiences to make it better.
Absolutely.
You sit there, if you got a bad experience, and you can pout about it, or you can move forward and move on.
Right.
That's the way I've been my whole life, and nobody taught me that. It's just that's the way life is, and you have to, the work ethic is totally different.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is, you don't learn from anything if it comes natural, or like if it's just handed to you, or if it comes so easy that you don't know what it took to get there in the first place. And there are people that are blessed, and they have that gold street that they just walk down, and you're able to do whatever you want to do. And then there's other guys that go off the beaten path into the woods, in the ditch. They swim 3 miles, they come back, but they all end up in the same place. If that's where you're meant to be, then that's where you're going to be.
That's right.
So the fish don't know they're playing, so they don't have,
a friend of mine, my buddy Jim took me fishing one time because I never had a boat. So I always try to catch a ride with somebody if they're going. So, hey man, you want to go hit the lake? Let's go hit the lake. Let's go to Lake Harris one morning. So he's like, yeah, man, let's go. So he picks me up about, 5 o'clock, 5:30. We roll into Leesburg, and boat ramp, is completely full there on 27. Completely full. So we're like, well, let's go to Venetian Gardens. And you couldn't see.
It was even worse over there.
You couldn't see the boats, but you could see the boats. And that makes sense. Like you could see them out in the water waiting.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, he's like, hey, let's go to Lake Eustis. Let's go to Lake Eustis. All right. So we went over there, and that boat ramp there across from the orange juice plant. So we put it in there, and the night before it had stormed pretty bad, and I didn't know. Maybe he did, but he didn't tell me. But all that grass is laid over, and we're going bass fishing. You're not going to be able to. So we throw out, and in about 2 hours we're like, all right, we ain't caught nothing. I think he might have caught something, but it wasn't a keeper. Just throw it back. So we go across the lake, and his boat starts like acting up a little bit. So he's like, hey man, we need to go back. And I said, heck yeah, let's go back, because I'm not swimming or paddling back to the boat ramp. So we get back in the canal. We go, he gets the truck and trailer, and we load up the boat, and we get out, we start putting all the stuff away. And I said, man, it's a shame that we never saw a bass the whole time. About that time, 5 feet from the boat ramp, there's like a 3 or 4 pound bass.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was comical, because here we are,
because it's true.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just the way it goes, man.
That's why they call it fishing.
Yeah, it's not catching.
It's not catching, and you like you say, your 30-minute TV show was up, so you didn't.
If you had to go to the bathroom, you missed how they got to where they were.
That's right.
You're like, oh man,
that's right.
Unless you recorded it, and then you're like,
yeah.
But those fishing shows. See, when we grew up, we didn't have. I always sound like an old man when I say this, but we didn't have all those fancy things like cable and stuff. But we had the old antenna,
Oh yeah.
But my grandfather next door, he had the big satellite dish.
Yeah.
The one that could pretty much. Start World War III.
You get stationed from British Columbia,
Yeah, the ones that they end up making big bird bass out of when they can't do anything with them. But anyways, we would watch that kind of stuff on there. But that was the only way of seeing that kind of stuff growing up.
Yeah, we didn't have cable either, and because we lived out in the boonies. Yeah, and but my grandmother that lived in Webster, my dad's mother. Her and my grandfather, they called it cable, and I'm sure it was the old cable TV. I mean, they got like TNN and CMT, and I'm sure they had MTV if they never watched it. But they, or HBO, they would have never watched that. But they got those channels, and that was like to get to go to there, because we had like you said, we had an antenna. We had 4 channels. Yep. And somebody had to go turn the antenna a certain direction to make sure, to get, because channel 9 was a different direction than channel 2, and you had to go through all that. But it was funny. My wife's family, she didn't grow up there, but her parents and all her aunts and uncles and cousins are Dothan, Alabama. Okay. And we'd go up there to see them back in the late 80s, early 90s. And everybody up there had a catfish pond and a satellite dish. There was a red brick house. If you had 5 acres or more, you had a red brick house, a satellite dish, and a catfish pond. That was that was like the rules to live by. Yeah, exactly. South Georgia, South Alabama, probably, and Southern Mississippi. That whole that belt across there. That means you were doing well. You were middle class. You didn't have you didn't. Oh, but, you were doing okay. You were doing okay, but that's sad. But you're right. Those satellite dishes. And then what do they do? I mean, because some of them were huge. I'm telling you. I mean, comparatively to what
Exactly. We had my grandfather's. We had to mow around it, and you sometimes you clip your head. Oh yeah. And of course, we had the old snapper. We're driving the old snapper like Forrest Gump would drive around.
Yeah, pre-zero turns.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it made it so much easier when you get that. You're like whoop whoop, and then you're done. Yeah. That one you're like, all right, I got to go left.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, or the lawn tractors that had an actual steering wheel on them, and they turned one direction sharper than the other, and then steering would always go out on them. It eventually, the deck would go bad. Yeah, I still hate mowing.
I do love mowing. I love it.
I do it, and we've got a zero turn, but that's my goal every year, is to write a song that pays enough where I can pay for a yard.
Hey, I'll just come to your house and mow your yard.
Okay,
come
on.
Deal.
Dude, you can use my lawnmower.
Oh, man, I love it. I really do love it. I don't know why, but I love it. It's like, I even had the, like, you can get the farming simulator.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it on the computer screen.
Yeah.
You're not even, I'm baling hay. I'm mowing, I'm raking, I'm fluffing, and then I'm baling. And it's funny because I don't know why, but it's just.
Once I get started mowing, I'm okay as long as the lawnmower's running good, and we've got a good one. And that's if I'm not having to work on anything, I'd much rather mow than weed eat.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I hate weed eating,
no doubt.
But I will put my earbuds in and I'll either find songs that I want to learn. I may make a playlist of songs I want to learn, and that's one of the ways I learn the lyrics is just listen to them over and over and over. So I may pick 5 songs and just put that shuffle on repeat. And in the hour and a half I'm mowing, I may hear those 5 songs however many times.
Right.
And other times it'll be, a friend of mine that's a recording artist, or I just take my iTunes and just shuffle. And it may be Tom Petty, Cody Jinks, Brian James, Austin Stanley, whoever in a row, I never know, maybe 3 Jamie Johnson songs in a row. I don't,
right.
However they, kind of whatever mood I'm in,
or however the shuffle goes.
Yeah. However the shuffle goes.
I've had shuffles go where it was 3 Kenny Chesney songs in a row. And I'm like, now I know there ain't as many Kenny Chesney. Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and get them all out of the way. Right.
Yeah. Mine. And it's funny. Mine'll sometimes throw songs up there that I forget that I even. Yeah. I don't remember buying them, and I don't know why I bought them. And I'm like, this isn't a very good song. Where did that come from? And I'll, and you can barely delete them.
Oh yeah.
It's then hopefully they don't make it back during the mowing season again.
I just was curious to say, like, growing up, how hard was it? I'm sure that it was a awesome feeling, because it brings back good memories of your dad, and when your dad did this, blah, blah, blah. But how was it growing up as a Clemente, during your adolescent years?
Well, it's awesome now that I'm old. At the time, it was not awesome. It was awful in many ways because of a lot of people forget that I was 7 years old when I approached him and told him not to get on the plane. I told him that don't get on the plane. The plane's going to crash. And because of that, I had this feeling of guilt that I did not do enough to stop it from getting on that plane. And it was always a reminder every day they have to tell the story. And I'm consoling people I don't even know. People start crying. People get emotional.
Yeah.
That connection with him was it still is unbelievable. It's pretty awesome that, people feel so strongly about, a baseball player. Obviously the baseball side is not really the part that really connects more with them. It's actually that human interest story of who he was as a human being. And for me, it was pretty tough because it was a constant reminder that I did not have him. I had so many questions growing up as a boy, as the oldest of 3 boys. And I needed some answers, and I couldn't talk to mom. I didn't want to talk to mom, type of deal. And so it was pretty tough. It was some tough times in my life. But that in many ways actually kind of built who I am today, being able to appreciate really even more what he meant and what he still means to society.
I know you gotta have a sense of, right here in the heart when you drive by. My God, you go anywhere in Pittsburgh, there's a mural, or there's a bridge named after your dad. There's so many different things. You go to Puerto Rico. I watched the video how they had they reenact the when they have the and I don't know the gentleman's name, but he dresses like your dad. He puts the whole jersey on. Have you seen that where they do? Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Modesto Lacen, yes. Modesto, he actually, there's a great resemblance, no doubt. He a scary resemblance, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. If you watch that video, it'll give you chills because I'm only 43 years old. I never got to see your dad play. But I felt like I didn't have to, because I got to hear all the stories. And I mean, I didn't get to watch Babe Ruth play either, but I knew who Babe Ruth was. So when I see a video like that, I'm telling you, man, it's, and again, I've never met anybody. Like, I haven't met your dad. I haven't met you. And I feel this connection, it's just like, it really makes you feel like, even though we aren't family, we are family. Everybody, we're all family. And, no matter where you're from, you're from Puerto Rico. I'm from Florida. I mean, we're not that far away, but it feels like somehow we are on the same, we are the same. And it's really, really cool how we can, use something like baseball to connect different, races, gender, whatever have you. And I think it's such a great thing. But that video, man, I'm telling you, whoo, he gets up there and you're like, and you can almost imagine, like, I don't know, have they ever tried to make a movie about your dad, like how they did like Jackie with 42? Have they ever made it?
That's very ironic that you asked that, Billy, because the answer is yes. And I have a full-blown story about that, a long story, but even right after the accident in 73, well, the day of 73, that summer of 73, there was a gentleman that came to Pittsburgh to talk to my mom about making a movie. This is 1973, right after the accident.
Right.
His name was Maury Gable, and this was Clark Gable's grandson.
Oh, okay.
And he came back a year later, and we went to the same restaurant in Mount Lebanon. In Greentree. And I remember sitting there, and he came to my mother, says, "Mrs. Clemente, I am very sorry, but I've tried to put some things together for the studios to do a story about your husband. But every major studio said that that movie would never be made in Hollywood." Yes, that story will never be. Nobody cares about a Black Puerto Rican, and it's been an unbelievable journey, to say the least, Billy. And today we're actually very happy that we have Thomas Tall. If you know the name, Thomas Tall is the gentleman that actually produced 42. With Legendary Pictures. He sold the studio, his company, but now he has a new one. And the only project that he wanted from when he sold the Legendary was the Clemente deal, the Clemente film. He's a big Clemente fan. I just spent opening day with him here in Pittsburgh. He's a part owner of the Yankees, and sat down with him, and we're very excited to really have his passion for the story, to really get it out to the big screen, and that's what he's going to do.
That's awesome. I can't believe after all these years, you're talking already 50 years. That was over 50 years ago. That someone hasn't come up with an idea, a script, or anything. I mean, I'm not saying they haven't, but I'm just saying it wasn't produced.
We've had many scripts, studios. I mean, I can give you a whole list of the people that had the opportunity to make the film, but for some reason, they did not pull the trigger. I mean, it was always one of those things. They have the story, they do the script, but never came to fruition. And people have been asking for years, when is the movie? When is the movie? And we've been available to have the conversation. Thomas is now really pushing forward, and hopefully the next year and a half we'll be able to see something coming out.
That would be so cool. Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Penosofsky's newest tap room, offering 14 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beers, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and puff. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to come hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app. Looking for custom apparel that stands out? Welcome to the Stitching Heifers, Bushnell's premier embroidery and custom apparel shop. From custom hats, t-shirts and jackets to unique gifts and business branding, we specialize in high quality, personalized apparel that reflects your style and vision. Step into our exclusive hat bar and design your one-of-a-kind custom hat, perfect for personal flair or promoting your brand. At the Stitching Heifers, we're committed to bringing your ideas to life with exceptional service and attention to detail. Whether it's for you, your business, or a thoughtful gift, we're your trusted partner for all things custom in the heart of Sumter County. Stop by today or visit us online to get started. The Stitching Heifers, custom style, local heart. When it comes to building in Sumter County, experience matters. From remodels, barns, additions, and accessory buildings to creating the custom home of your dreams, our Hogan Construction delivers quality you can trust. Russell is hands-on and on-site daily, going above and beyond to ensure the project isn't just completed, but crafted to perfection. He doesn't just meet expectations, he exceeds them. For a builder who puts integrity and craftsmanship first, call R. Hogan Construction today at 352-793-7660. Russell Hogan Construction. Built on tradition, built to last. Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, serving the Lake Pennsauken and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 33 years, we have strived to serve great food at great prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our burgers or wings are the best around. We have daily specials too. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information. Duto Realty is a homegrown business with an eye for getting the job done right. From football games to Sunday school and everything in between, these ladies care about our community and the people in it, helping buyers and sellers in all of Florida with all types of transactions, including residential, commercial, farm, or vacant land. They do it all. They even offer auction services and sellouts to always get the job done right. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck, the delicious mobile coffee truck that brings you the caffeination inspiration you need. We deliver signature coffee products like our Nitro Cold Brew and Caramel Frappe to any occasion or festivity. And for those who don't like coffee, we offer a variety of delicious hot chocolates, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. That's Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck. Whether your water is supplied by a public municipality or a private well, for residential or commercial use, Purified Water Services LLC has the solutions to provide you with simply clean water. We offer a complete line of professional water filtration equipment and accessories. Soft water makes a difference you can see and feel. Water heater and appliances last longer with less maintenance. Iron and H2S filters eliminate iron stains and offensive rotten egg odors and protects your water softener equipment from iron fouling. No matter what your problem is, Purified Water Services LLC has a solution. Contact Kenny Williams at 352-446-2709. So you changed, you got your name and everything.
Yeah. So we got
it was going to be third base and you changed to first base.
Yeah. The initial one, we had talked about calling it third base.
Gotcha.
But I was like, well, that doesn't make as much sense.
Right.
Because it's not the final turn of your financial journey. It's the first step. It's the first thing you got to do. The first thing you got to do is get, as the Ramsey Solution said, you got to get gazelle intent with paying off debt and stuff. So
right.
It's really your first step. And, a lot of people struggle with it and they don't know where to start. And that's what I'm looking to do, is be, helpful to someone and guide them on that way.
Right.
And it's a way to keep me involved in coaching, but it's more than just coaching football or coaching baseball. It's coaching life skills. It's coaching stuff that football and baseball, those things are super important, but your finances are really, really important. It's more important than
Absolutely.
Sports,
Absolutely.
So
those that financial stuff is going to obviously carry you for the rest of your life. So you need to be better at that.
Right.
Even though I don't really know a lot of people that are really good at financing.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people that, even the most responsible people that I know, struggle just to keep. Because nobody. Let's just be honest. Facts are facts. nobody likes to pay bills.
No.
Nobody likes to pay bills. So, you always think of it as a negative thing. Obviously, it is, because it's debt. You owe debt. So, you got to go from making it where you hate it to what I started doing a couple years ago is I started making like a game. Like, because everybody's competitive, whether you want to admit it or not. You can be the most competitive person, and some people know it and some people don't. But I try to use that as the competitive nature to make sure that, like, if I had a bill that, like, say I had a $2,000 balance on a credit card, just saying, you try to make those payments where, you're not paying the interest where you're paying more than what you owe, obviously, right? So you're trying to make it like a game. Like, okay, if I give the standard whatever the standard lower the minimum payment is, how much more do I need to give to make an impact? You know what I mean? And a lot of people just and everybody's done it. I do it all the time. Minimum payment. Okay, cool. Get off my back for a month. Yeah. Everybody does it. So it's and when you get into financial stuff, people get kind of they get real clam-like. They
real protective.
Real protective. And I'm like, I wish people just would realize that everybody's been there. Yeah. It's like any other life lesson. Like, are you a good driver or bad driver? Well, it doesn't matter. You drive, right? So either whether you're good or bad, you're still driving. Finances is the same way. You're still there doing the same thing, whether you're good at it or bad at it. Yeah. But just people take it really like there's an offense to it almost. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, it can be an uncomfortable conversation with a lot of people, and it's not to say that, like, the people that do this, the people that are financial coaching, like, we're not perfect with it either. I mean, heck, we struggle with it all the time. I mean, we struggle every month, right? With making the right decisions. We have the foundation part of it. I got the foundation part of it down, right. But life is about. I mean, life can be tempting. You want to take a random trip to Disney, which we did. And it, luckily it's something that we're like, okay, we got to be smart about this. Yeah. And that's where, like, having someone in your corner and someone kind of guiding you, they can just kind of help you see things a different way. Yep. Someone taking an outside look. But what you were talking about with paying off stuff, that's the debt snowball effect. That's that's baby step 2. Yeah. Is paying off debt. You start off with your lowest amount.
Smallest consolidation thing.
Yeah. You pay minimum payments on everything else. Yep. You pay a little bit more on that first one. Yep. And then once you're done with that first set, you roll that into your second one, and you just keep going. And,
keep going in there.
And that's what he preaches. And I mean, I can tell you from personal experience. I mean, having $50,000-$60,000 in debt, paying it off in 2 years. Yeah. It's a good feeling, and the system works. So it ain't something I came up with, or that I know it's worked for millions of people, and it's something I'm excited to share with people. Yeah.
I will say that it's and don't get me wrong, because there's going to be people that will see this and they're going to be like, yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds, and absolutely not.
It's not.
I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: is a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, if you make it a game, you're competitive. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's your finances, your job. People like when I used to work in lawn service, right? I worked for Massey. You can ask Daniel Strickland. I asked him every time when I was in training. I'm like, how many more do we got? How many more we got? It's not. I mean, I wanted to go home, obviously, but how many more we got? Yeah. How many more yards do we have left until I can go home? And that sounds bad, but that's my mentality. I'm like, let's knock them out. Yeah. Why would you wait? Yeah. Or why would you take? And I'm not saying that I wouldn't do a good job on the lawn. I didn't cut corners. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I just want to know how many. We got 18 left. Let's do it. Yeah. Jonathan always says, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Yeah. Let's do it. So I'm always saying, that's in my mind. And that was back in 2005. I was probably in my early 20s. Now, if I'd have just took that same perspective and applied it to my financial side, but everybody in their 20s, is horrible with money.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 30, 40, 50-year-olds that are horrible money. I'm still not good with money.
Yeah.
But I'm better than I was when I was 18.
Yeah.
So that's a step in the right direction, I guess.
But. And that's the big thing is it's so important to learn at a young age. You know, I teach Algebra 1 in here in Prattville at the high school, and I've got 10th graders. And, you know, we have a kid that's, you know, looking at, he's a 4-star defensive lineman. And I was talking to the class about finances, and I kind of looked at him and I was like, you really need to listen to this.
Yeah.
Because we had like a free day or whatever, and I was like, I'm going to teach y'all something that's really important.
Some life skills.
Yeah. Like that I think is super important. And we pulled up the investment calculator and talked about if you put in, you know, $100 a month into a 401k from 21 to, you know, 60, 65, whatever it is, and the amount, and you just see their eyes light up and they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I wish I'd have been doing this at, you know, 21 years old when I joined the Air Force.
Yep.
Or 22 when I joined the Air Force. And so we're playing catch up. But if you start young, you don't have to play catch up.
That's right.
You can get ahead and,
that's right.
You know, so.
Well, I think it's very, you know, I don't know if they're afraid to tell the secret at a young age or what, but it's like, you know, why couldn't you tell me? Well, of course I wouldn't have listened, but but you know what I'm saying, like why didn't somebody lay it out for me, Jimmy? When I was in high school, I know you. Okay, first of all, guys, the math classes I took were not the same classes that he took. Okay, and you know what? I'm not ashamed to say that because I'm not a student. I'm not a school person. I hated school. So I'm going to do whatever. Hey. What I got to do to get out?
What I got to do to get out of here?
Yeah.
That's done faster.
Yeah, exactly. I've never changed. I've been the same way. 2.0 to graduate? All right, done. Don't mess up. Don't mess up and tell me I need a 2.0. Don't judge me. We listen. We don't judge.
That's what they say.
But what I was getting at is, if at a young age, like when I was in high school, we were taught how to write a check. Like, go to your school and ask a 10th grader how to write a check. I guarantee you,
most of them don't know what a check is.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it's still a relevant thing.
Yeah.
But people don't do it anymore. Yeah. We were taught how to read meters on your house. I'm like, are they trying to? I'm like looking around, like, as I'm in my class, I'm like, is this Votech? Are they trying to recruit for Seco? But I'm like, gotta learn how to read a meter. Little things like that are what went longer in my life knowing how to do than, it kind of goes back to what you said about taking that trip to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, was it the best idea at the time? Could you do it all the time? No. But was it something that you'll remember?
Oh, yeah.
Then it was all worth it. Well, you know what's funny is, and funny as an ironic, they have after World War II, they have pictures of. Have you ever seen the pictures of the German officers where they had the fencing scars? They're called, I think basically that's what it is, and it's a scar that goes across their cheek.
I mean, I have seen them, but
like
but I never thought anything of it.
They open it up, they cut it open, and then they pack it with horsehair, and it makes it like scar up, and it's like a sign of like you're pretty much a badass, like, you know what I mean, like you're
okay.
But all these German generals, or not generals, but like, officers would have those dueling scars, is what they call it, dueling scars, and they would do that on purpose. Like that was it was like a badge of honor type deal. And there's a picture of this guy with JFK at the launch site. I think it's whatever, the Apollo or whatever, and he's got the scar. So this guy is like, it's weird how these guys, the power. How these guys,
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So World War II is It's at World War
Have you ever heard of that?
I have not, and I'm not.
okay.
And I will say that there's lots of things obviously that I don't know. But World War II through Cold War foreign policy is like that's my master's.
Gotcha.
And I'm learning. I learn stuff every day about World War II. But I've never heard of that. But I was shocked in studying history and stuff to learn that we absorbed so many Nazis. And now that I'm trying to tell you this, I don't remember. I ask this every time. P.O. Box something or other, where we actually had a resort here, and we brought POW Nazis.
Yes.
And wined and dined them so that they would get drunk and would tell us stories.
Yeah. Or,
so that we knew
secrets, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we absorbed them. And then recently as in the last, because we already talked about this, what recent is, I want to say it was in the last 10 years, the woman that identified a Nazi in New York, this happened, it was on the news. It was a huge deal. She saw his eyes and recognized him from the death camps for what he did to her.
Oh, yeah.
Called him out. They went to his house. He had all the paraphernalia and stuff.
Yes.
They arrested him, and out he went on a stretcher.
About that. I can't remember the name of it. It's on Netflix.
So he goes out on a stretcher. He's like 85, 90 years old.
Yeah, it's like My Neighbor the Murderer or something like that. Yes.
And I was like, they're just here.
Yep.
But
watched that.
The kids are like, well, we don't have Adolf Baldi. He's in Argentina. I'm like, well, for now, first of all, he'd be dead by now.
Yeah.
But second of all, no, he didn't go to Argentina. And they're like, but do you know that? And I'm like, yes, because I was told.
I don't believe that he did.
Agreed.
Go down there, but coincidentally, there are a lot of Germans down there.
Right. Well, there's a whole Bavarian village, and we know, as documented, that they did go down there. Lots of Nazis escaped to Argentina because they absorbed them. They were fine with it.
That's why you get a lot of blonde-haired, blue-eyed Brazilians and Venezuelans. And
it's so funny when I teach my class, and we'll go through what the Aryan race is, and I teach in a very diverse school. I'm the only, in my classroom, I'm like, oh, that's just me. I'm the one that's staying. Best of luck to you all. But then I have to explain that he wasn't seeking out blacks or Hispanics at that time. Like that's not what his end goal was. And I said, really, y'all weren't in Germany.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, the thing is they wanted all those guys to come back. A lot of those, not the concentration people. I'm talking about like these scientists and stuff, because that's who that's what I was going to say. Right. What was it, Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
All that deal was,
well, and they were scientists for Germany. They weren't Nazis.
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to say
you're right.
Yeah. But they coaxed them. They pretty much gave
them a great deal. Yeah.
They're like, hey,
you can be free.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer and his chain smoking.
See, and then there's so many different like variations of stories of who did what and this and that. So it's almost like, like your student said, it was 80 years ago, but my God, it's still not enough to decipher. I mean, look, Kennedy was killed in 1963, and we still don't have a clear.
Right.
And that was one event.
7 days left.
That was one event. Yeah.
7 days before it's released.
Yeah. That's right.
He released it. He said 15 days.
Okay.
15 days. So I can't wait. I don't know how much.
Well, it'll be out by now.
Yeah.
This is previously taped.
Oh, right. Good point. So when we review the work,
for a month or so.
I'll be back. I'll be back the month after to talk about it.
I know, right? We'll be back. We're going to go back.
Right. We're going to do history. We're going to do history lessons.
Do you follow Kylie Pitts? I doubt that you do. She does not post anything that you would be interested in.
Probably not.
She posts a lot of like day in the lives, and she does voiceovers.
Oh, okay.
And if you listen to her voiceovers, her sentences run into each other. She edits them to like cut off the last part of the last word of her sentence and merge with the first part of the first word of her next sentence.
Gotcha.
If you stay with me there.
Yeah.
And
that's a run-on sentence.
Yeah. So a huge run-on sentence of like 20 sentences.
When you take a break, you're like,
yeah. Well, she edits it that way.
Okay.
So
she's not really doing
all the
Yeah, but who talks like that?
She talks super fast and has a really strong accent. But the girl that I follow on TikTok that posts all that psychology of stopping in your scroll says that that's why Kylie Pitts has been so successful, because you don't have time to lose interest. Like she starts talking as soon as it starts, and she might be saying, hey, but you only get A. but you know what she says.
Maybe she's from Canada?
No, she's like from,
kidding.
she's got super strong. Okay, that went right over my head. You tried, right? Wrong audience. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, like it's crazy that like our time span, like our attention span is that short.
Yes.
But that psychology behind social media and what makes people watch fascinates me.
Well, that's the thing is like, I'm trying to figure out what are some things that I can, all I'm trying to do is get my name out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the more the merrier.
Heck yeah.
Let me tell you, this is a bizarre story. It's still out there. It's on my Instagram. It is a video of, okay, so let me set the picture for you. I don't remember what year it is, but it's like the CMAs or the AMAs, country music, right?
Okay.
Alan Jackson is like on top of the hill.
Alan
and
Jack,
he still is,
love him.
in my opinion. But I'm just saying,
agreed.
But he was at his prime.
Yes.
This is like 90s country.
Still the best country out there.
Absolutely, I totally agree. It's an award show, and basically the producers are like, "Hey, you're going to go out there, and you're not going to play. We're going to track it. We'll play the background music, and you're not going to play.
Where have I heard
you're
this?
Not gonna play.
Keep going."
So they go out there. The drummer doesn't bring drumsticks, so he's literally. Oh, when I say literally, I have to say literally. Literally, we're literally out of milk.
I love it. Don't ever say it normal again.
No, I can't.
Okay.
I just did, but I can't.
Yeah.
And so he's out there drumming, and he's no sticks, and he's just like. Da, da, da. So what I said, this is the honest truth. It's New Year's Eve. I'm sitting there, the ball drops, blah, blah, blah. Happy New Year. I was like, I don't know why, but I'm like, I'm going to post this video. And the thing is coming into 2025, and the hook or whatever the catch thing is, when you order a drummer on Temu.
That was good. You came up with that on your own?
I did.
Oh, that's good.
And then I played that video. So I just screen recorded, whatever. Played it. Taylor, it has over 1 million views.
Let me not stutter over my words here. You get me excited when I start talking about social media. I nerd out on it. I'm telling you, the videos that you put the tiniest thought into, and you're just like, let me get it out here.
Yeah.
They always do better.
Yeah.
Videos that I spend weeks editing, days planning, they flop.
Prepping. Like you got, like I have a storyboard and everything.
Yes.
All right. And scene one.
Yes. You're like hiring a videographer.
Exactly.
Yes. They flop.
Yeah. Blocking.
Well, because and you know what though? That's another thing that's like in right now is people are over the perfect aesthetics of social media. They want to see poor film quality from your iPhone, poor editing. They just want the information and they want it fast, or they want it really trendy like that. Like that was trendy and catchy. Yeah. That's so funny.
Oh, it's got as of right now. At this point in time, it's probably like 1.5 million views.
I'm sharing it. I'm going to share it tomorrow. See if we can spark it up again. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's so cool. But just something like that. I'm going to put this out there, and it was a joke. Yeah. It's funny, and then the comments, they're all funny. Like their comments, and some people knew the backstory of it. Like, oh, he did that as a protest.
But what's the end of that story?
So,
because I remember that story.
I don't remember the end of it.
He did something profound. So Alan Jackson did.
So I think if you look at the video closely, I think he doesn't even have guitar strings on his guitar.
Yeah, I remember him doing something against what they wanted him to do.
Well, they wanted him to play. They wanted him to pretend he was playing, and he's like, okay, if I go out there and it's tracked. Like they're playing the over like a music video,
right?
And he's just like sitting there like he's animatronic at Disney.
Yeah.
That's why the drummer's like, all right, well, screw the sticks. Yeah. He's over there. He's
from Temu.
So I have a funny.
I'm already excited.
Have you ever been to the Cracker Kitchen?
Yes.
Over in Brooksville.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nicole and I we didn't have the kids one weekend, and we were like, let's go get breakfast. So I'm like, all right, cool. We went over there, and they sit us on the outside on the porch, and they play good music. They always have good music out there. So they're playing this music, and it was like, I forgot what it was, but it had it had some killer. It was kicking drums. So I take
doing your air drums.
Yeah, no. I took my my silverware, and I'm like, and I'm like, I look over and. The people next to us, because you're like literally so
close
next to us is the next table, and I'm like, and I look over, and the lady's like,
Oh,
like,
so she wasn't fun. She was a Karen.
And I'm like,
louder? Is that what you said?
I was like, oh, you want me to go fast?
I got you.
Start going. And Nicole's like, oh my God, Billy, would you please stop?
Would you stop it?
Would you stop it for real? You're good. She's like, Billy, they don't want you to keep going.
Of course, who wouldn't? Obviously, wrong crowd. Like, go home and eat in your kitchen.
This is not my crowd right here. So
we went to. Have you done Top Golf yet?
I want to go to Top Golf.
It's fun. It's so fun.
But I will tell you this: the Omni has their own version. It just opened.
So we stay there once a year.
Okay.
We didn't get the chance to do it this year, but we stay there once a year for a dance convention every year in November-ish.
Okay.
And I noticed that they opened that. I would actually like to reach out to them for a partnership and we'll go do a podcast there.
That would be so cool.
Set up and do a podcast there.
We did that last Nicole had a conference over there.
Love that hotel.
And, it's so cool.
So nice.
And we went over there and they just opened it and great food.
Because it is new, right? Like this year.
Yeah.
Or in 2024 or whatever.
Yeah, it was in summer 2024. Yeah. And I think we went in June. So
it's similar. It's a game. Is it virtual?
It is. No. It's they have but they have the holes because I'm not sure if Topgolf's the same way because I've never been, but if you hit it to a certain spot, it tracks how far it goes and everything, and it tells you where it goes.
Yeah.
So I guess they've got sensors out there or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. A net. I don't know. Have you seen the videos of people falling off at the Topgolf? Yes. Those are so fun.
Or how about the guys that swing really hard and it goes over?
Yeah, they're too much.
I'm like,
they're too much.
That would be me though.
Yeah, Billy, you're too much. We can't go to Top Golf together.
No, I can't do that because I can't swing like that. Okay, but I'm saying that would be me.
That would be you. You're handing someone your phone. Hey, film that. Get this.
Yeah, you're like, hey, hold my beer.
Get this content.
You're like, it's about to go down. Yeah.
So I don't like the game of golf, but I love Top Golf.
I think that's why it was made.
Yeah, I like driving ranges.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The game of golf is just too slow for me. But we were there one time with some friends, and my husband, okay, you met him today. You see what he looks like.
Yeah. Good guy.
If he's a pretty good guy. If he's wearing his black button-up Columbia, which is one of his favorite uniforms, if he's wearing that.
Is that the away uni?
Yes, that's the away uni. That's our going out shirt, okay? And I love it because I look good in anything that I wear with that.
Yes.
We don't clash.
Right.
If I have on black with that, we are a force to be reckoned with. But anyways.
Yeah. Dynamic duo
of the year for sure.
Yeah.
If he has that on, someone that night, if not 10 people, at least one will say, have you ever been told that you look like Luke Combs?
Yeah, I can see that a little bit. Yeah.
So he's gotten this nice comeback that he loves to make people uncomfortable with, and he'll just look at him and be like, is it because I'm fat? And they instantly are like, so he loves to do that, but he gets it all the time. Okay. So one night, we were at Top Golf and he's wearing his black uniform, his black Columbia shirt.
Yeah.
And I take a 6-second video kind of my foot. And then I roll up to him and he's talking to our friend. I actually think they were it kind of looked like they were shaking hands. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was just a perfect little video. And it looked like I was sneaking the video, which was intentional. Put it on TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. And I put, when you run into Luke Combs at Top Golf. I posted it, put my phone down, enjoyed my night.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you, our entertainment on the way home. So it was up to, by the time we got in the car, which I would say was maybe an hour later, it was up to 20 million views.
Oh my gosh.
And the comment section was popping off. So nobody thought it was Luke Combs, not one person, because he resembles Luke Combs, but not enough to fool somebody, right? So in the comments, people, and I thought of this because you said when you order a drummer off of Temu, they were like the Walmart version of Luke Combs. Or they were like, oh, look, guys, it's Luke Brush was one of my favorites. Luke Brush. And then they were saying, the Aldi version of Luke Combs. And
Aldi version.
I think I hid the video.
They don't even have bags.
For his, they don't even have bags. For his dignity, I think I hid the video. Let me see. Because I'm telling you, these comments were top tier. We were, and he takes the criticism he thought it was hilarious. I hid it because I was like, no, you're my husband. They're not going to talk about you this way. He was like, Taylor, keep it up. It's a viral video, but the comment section was so I don't have it anymore. I don't know why I would have ever gotten rid of that video, but it was really funny. People are super clever with that kind of stuff.
Now you make me feel really bad because it took me like 5 months to get 1.5 million, and yours was like 20 million in one night.
Oh my gosh! If you want to feel better, go look at my recent views. Like it literally has nothing to do with your talent. Nothing. Yeah. If somebody is getting in a fight, which that's what most of my viral, like I have a hair clip one right now where I did a hair clip tutorial. I don't remember if it's doing better on TikTok or Instagram, but both platforms it did very well on. But the reason it did good is because I did my hair in a claw clip and I said on screen, like text, stop doing this. And I showed them what not to do. And then I said, do this instead. People tore me apart, ripped me apart because I said, don't do this. Basically, I told them what to do. Yeah. So they were correcting me in the comments. You don't have to, I don't have to do what you say. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And it went mega viral on both platforms. Again, not because of my video skills or because of my hair clip suggestion. Mm-hmm. They just hated me. So it went viral.
Let me tell you something, and it's so hard to not do this, but don't read the comments.
Yeah.
I heard Joe Rogan say that, and it's so true because, like, okay, so, and you get caught doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I just posted a video that it was a guy that I helped coach in high school. He's now a head coach in Kentucky, and his name is Yogi. He was just on
Yogi.
Yogi.
I like that name.
Yogi Davis. Yeah, good guy. So, anyways, he was we were talking about something, and I had put it on YouTube as a short, and one of the comments was, so when you look at the video, like I'm on the bottom, like it's like staggered,
split screen.
Split screen. So I'm on the bottom, Yogi's up top. Yogi's talking. So if you're talking to me, I'm not gonna be like, hey, yeah. I try not to do that, but I'm agreeing with you if I can. But I'm not gonna try to interrupt him.
Yeah.
So this person, I don't even know if it's a real person.
Yeah, who knows?
But the comment was, the guy on the bottom acts like he doesn't even care.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm literally listening to
listening to this man,
to Yogi talk and pour his heart out.
You want me to tell you how to get more views on that?
Yeah.
Comment under it and like antagonize the guy back. Be like, I don't care.
I hate confrontation though.
Do you?
I do.
Okay, so
I really do. And
same
that's the thing
in real life.
Yeah, I really like. Okay, so I jokingly will if whoever's watching this, if I ever comment on your post or anything on Facebook, Instagram, just please know it's out of comedy. It's out of love.
Like if you roast somebody, it's funny.
I'm like, it is like very sarcastic, very, very like it's sarcasm is so.
You can go back
fun.
at him with that though. Go back at him with some. But I am an extremely sensitive person.
Yeah.
Very, very sensitive. So anybody that knows me would probably think that I lay in bed at night and cry over my social media comments because that is what makes the most sense.
Right.
For some reason, they don't bother me.
Right.
I don't know why. If they ever say anything negative about my kids or my husband, I delete them.
Yeah.
If it's about me, I leave it because thank you for the engagement, you know?
Well, yeah, that, and you speak for yourself. You can't, you're going to have to defend your kids and your husband. So, so that's a little, that's, okay, so that's a good example. That's where you draw the line. That's where you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, well, and your whole family's pig. You're like,
wait a minute. I can be a pig. I'm a very cute pig. But these three are not pigs.
People like to make so much like
they're so keyboard warriors.
Yes, it's so
Would they ever say that to you in person?
No,
never.